Have you ever stood in the quiet hallway of your own home and felt like you were at a crossroads? The stairs seem a little steeper than they did last year. The silence feels a little louder now that the house is emptier. A part of you feels the subtle shift, the quiet whisper that your body isn't the fortress it once was. And in that moment of vulnerability, the world, and perhaps even well-meaning loved ones, presents what seems like a simple, responsible answer. It's time. When you can't fully care for yourself, it's time for a nursing home. But is that truly the only path forward? Is trading everything familiar for a sterile room the inevitable final chapter? Today, we are not just going to question that narrative, we are going to dismantle it. We will dive deep into the unspoken realities of nursing homes, the emotional, physical, and hidden financial costs that brochures never mention. More importantly, we will provide you with a powerful blueprint for an alternative, a path that honors your dignity, preserves your identity, and protects your health, the art and science of aging in place. Stay with me, because the decisions you make now about your future deserve more than a default setting. By the end of this journey, you will be armed with the knowledge and the tools to fight for the final chapter you want to write, in the one place you truly belong. Home, Part 1. Peeling back the curtain, the unspoken realities of institutional care. Before we can explore the empowering alternative of aging in place, we must first have an honest, unflinching conversation about the path most often presented as the only solution. The modern nursing home industry is built on a promise of safety, care, and dignity. But behind the glossy pamphlets and reassuring smiles, there often lies a complex and heartbreaking reality. Reality defined by four profound costs that are rarely discussed until it's too late. The human cost, the erosion of dignity at core. The most pervasive issue plaguing many nursing homes is not a lack of caring individuals, but a systemic crisis of understaffing. These facilities are businesses, and to remain profitable, they must operate with maximum efficiency. This translates into a single caregiver being responsible for 10, 15, or sometimes even 20 residents during a single shift. Imagine the sheer impossibility of that task. Each of those 20 residents is a human being with a unique history, complex medical needs, emotional struggles, and basic daily requirements. One needs help getting to the bathroom. Another has dropped their glasses and can't see. A third is having a moment of panic and needs a reassuring voice. A fourth needs their medication, which must be administered within a specific time window. It is not that the caregivers are malicious. Many are deeply compassionate people stretched to their absolute breaking point. But when one person is forced to juggle the needs of 20, neglect becomes a mathematical certainty. This is the human cost. It's the call button that goes unanswered for 20 minutes, which feels like an eternity when you're in pain or need to use the toilet. It's the rushed bath, where personal dignity is sacrificed for speed. It's the meal that gets cold while a resident waits for someone to help them cut their food. It's the loneliness of spending hours in a room, longing for a simple conversation, only to be met with the hurried footsteps of an overworked aide who has 17 other people to attend to. This environment also enforces a crushing loss of autonomy. To manage the chaos, nursing homes must run on rigid, unyielding schedules. Life ceases to be your own. You wake up when they tell you to wake up. You eat what they serve you, when they serve it, whether you're hungry or not. Breakfast is at 7:30 a.m., lunch is at noon, dinner is at 5 p.m. Your lifelong preference for a late breakfast or a small evening snack becomes irrelevant. You bathe when an aide has an open slot. You take your pills when the medication cart rolls by. The simple, profound freedom to decide, the rhythm of your own day vanishes, replaced by an institutional regimen designed not for your well-being but for the facility's operational convenience. For a person who has spent 70 or 80 years making their own choices, this slow erasure of agency can feel less like care and more like a gentle, soul-crushing confinement. The emotional cost, the trauma of uprooting your home is not just a physical structure of wood, plaster, and glass. It is a living archive of your soul. It's the faint pencil mark on the doorframe measuring your children's height. It's the kitchen where the air still holds the ghost of your grandmother's spaghetti sauce. It's the worn armchair, perfectly molded to your shape, where you read, worried, and dreamed. Every scratch on the floor, every faded patch of paint, every creak in the stairs is a verse in the long poem of your life. To leave that behind is not just a move. For many seniors, it is a profound trauma, a psychological and emotional upheaval that echoes long after the last box is unpacked. The process itself can feel like a deep betrayal of everything you've built. Walking through those rooms for the last time, you are flooded with memories, the laughter from a holiday dinner, the quiet grief of a loss, the simple joy of watching sunlight stream through a particular window. Packing is not about sorting possessions. It's about amputating pieces of your past. That vast collection of books, no room, the garden you tended for 40 years. It will be tilled over by strangers. The sturdy workshop desk built by your late husband is too big for the new place. Each decision is a small death, a chipping away at your sense of self. This isn't just sentimentality, it's backed by science. Psychologists refer to the concept of place, identity, the deep connection between our sense of self and the physical spaces we inhabit. When an older adult is uprooted, especially involuntarily, they can experience what is known as transplant shock. Studies published in journals of gerontology have repeatedly found that older adults who are relocated to care facilities, particularly before they are emotionally ready, face a dramatically heightened risk of severe mental health challenges. Depression settles in as they mourn the loss of their independence, their neighborhood, their routine, and their very identity. Anxiety spikes as they grapple with an unfamiliar environment, surrounded by strangers instead of the familiar faces of neighbors they've known for decades. Cognitive decline can accelerate. The brain, which relies on familiar landmarks and rhythms for orientation, struggles to adapt. One landmark study noted that seniors who relocated to care facilities showed measurable drops in memory and problem-solving skills within just 6 months, simply because their entire world had been turned upside down. That's the loss of your role. At home, you are the host, the decision-maker, the keeper of traditions. In a facility, that role is stripped away. You become a resident, a number on a chart, a recipient of care rather than an active participant in your own life. This shift feels like the closing of a chapter you weren't ready to end. The physical cost, the hidden health risks. It is a bitter and tragic irony that the very place families choose for superior healthcare can, in some cases, hasten physical decline and even shorten a person's lifespan. The reasons are multifaceted, rooted in the environment of care facilities and the fundamental changes they impose on a resident's life. The epidemic of inactivity. When seniors move into a nursing home, they often leave behind the small, daily tasks that kept them physically and mentally engaged. Cooking a meal, tidying the house, walking to the mailbox, tending to a small garden. These routines provide a constant, low-level form of exercise and purpose. In a facility, these activities are replaced by a profoundly sedentary lifestyle. Staff take over these responsibilities, and residents spend the majority of their day sitting in their room, in a wheelchair, in front of a common room television. This rapid onset of inactivity leads directly to muscle atrophy, weakened immunity, poor circulation, and a faster deterioration of cognitive function. A study in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society found that seniors who transitioned to institutional care showed a marked decline in mobility and physical strength within just 6 months compared to those who remained at home with support. The breeding ground for infections. By their very nature, nursing homes house large groups of vulnerable individuals in close quarters, creating an ideal incubator for the spread of infectious diseases. Pneumonia, one of the leading causes of death among the elderly, thrives in such environments, especially when residents have weakened respiratory systems from inactivity. Urinary tract infections (UT) is rampant, often exacerbated by dehydration. If residents have to wait for help to get water or inconsistent personal care, a simple UTI can quickly spiral into sepsis, a life-threatening condition. Antibiotic-resistant bacteria like MRSA, methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus are a constant threat in institutional settings, passing from resident to resident via staff, equipment, and shared spaces. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, has consistently reported that nursing home residents are at a significantly higher risk for hospital-acquired infections than their peers living independently. The very place meant to be a sanctuary from health crises can sometimes function as an unintended breeding ground for them. The financial cost, the crushing burden if the human, emotional, and physical costs aren't sobering enough. The financial reality is often the final, devastating blow. There is a pervasive myth that nursing homes are an affordable, covered expense. This could not be further from the truth. The financial toll is staggering and can obliterate a lifetime of savings. With shocking speed, let's be brutally honest with the numbers. In the United States, the median cost of a semi-private room in a nursing home is over $8,000 per month. A private room is over $9,000 per month. That translates to roughly $96,000 to $108,000 per year. and that is just for basic room and board. This price does not typically include specialized medication management, physical or occupational therapy, wound care, specialized dementia or memory care, which can add thousands more to the monthly bill. Now, project that cost over a realistic time frame. A 3 to 5 year stay, which is common, can cost between $288,000 and $540,000. For a longer 10-year stay, you could be facing a bill of over $1 million. But what about Medicare or Medicaid? People ask. This is the most dangerous misconception. Medicare is a health insurance program. It does not cover long-term custodial care. It may cover a short-term rehabilitative stay up to 100 days, with significant co-pays after day 20 after a qualifying hospital stay. It was never designed to pay for long-term nursing home care. Medicaid is a program for those with very low income and assets. To qualify, an individual often must go through a process called spending down. This means you must exhaust nearly all of your life savings, sell your home, and liquidate your assets until you are officially impoverished. You are forced to dismantle your financial legacy to qualify for basic care. The result is that countless families find themselves draining retirement accounts, selling cherished family homes, and taking on crippling debt just to keep a loved one in a facility that, as we've discussed, may not even be providing the best quality of life. The financial cost is not just about money, it's about the destruction of a family's financial security for generations to come. Part 2. The Empowered Alternative. Your blueprint for aging in place after facing those harsh realities. It's easy to feel hopeless, but the purpose of this conversation is not to inspire fear, it is to inspire action. There is a better way, a more humane, healthier, and often more affordable path forward. It's called aging in place. This is not about stubbornly toughing it out alone, it's about consciously and strategically creating a safe, sustainable, and fulfilling environment within your own home. Supported by the right tools, technology, and people. It is the ultimate act of empowerment. Here is your master blueprint, broken down into 4 actionable modules. Module 1, the Home Safety Fortress Audit. The foundation of aging in place is transforming your home from a collection of potential hazards into a fortress of safety and accessibility. This doesn't have to be expensive. Small, strategic modifications make a world of difference. Conduct this room-by-room audit throughout the home. Lighting. Is it bright enough? Replace dim bulbs with brighter LEDs. Add night lights in hallways, bathrooms, and bedrooms to illuminate paths for late-night trips. Floors. Remove trip hazards. Secure or remove all throw rugs. Tape down the edges of area rugs. Tidy up all electrical cords, running them along walls instead of across walkways. The bathroom, the #1 danger zone. Install grab bars. These are non-negotiable. Install them professionally inside the shower, outside the shower, and next to the toilet. Towel racks are not grab bars and will pull out of the wall. Improve the toilet. A raised toilet seat or a comfort height toilet can make sitting and standing immensely easier. Create a non-slip zone. Use non-slip mats, both inside and outside the shower or tub. Consider a shower chair or a walk-in shower conversion for maximum safety. The bedroom. Clear a path. Ensure there is a wide, clear path from the bed to the door. Accessible lighting. Place a lamp that is easy to turn on within arm's reach of the bed. Bed height. Ensure the bed is at a height where your feet can touch the floor firmly when seated on the edge. The stairs. Handrails. Ensure there are sturdy handrails on both sides of the staircase. Lighting. The stairs should be brightly lit, from top to bottom. STAIRLIFT. For those with significant mobility challenges, a stair lift is a major investment that can open up an entire floor of the house, preserving independence for years. Module 2, the Technology Lifeline. Technology can be a powerful ally in your mission to age in place safely. Medical alert systems. The modern versions are far more than a help, I've fallen button. Many are discrete smartwatches or pendants with automatic fall detection, GPS tracking, and two-way communication. This provides profound peace of mind for both you and your family. Smart home devices, voice assistants like Alexa or Google Home. These can be used to make phone calls, get news updates, set medication reminders, and control lights, all with your voice. Smart pill dispensers. These devices can be programmed to dispense the correct pills at the correct time, with alarms and notifications sent to caregivers if a dose is missed. Video doorbells. These allow you to see and speak to who is at your door from a smartphone or tablet. enhancing security and reducing the need to rush to the door. Services, the ability to have a virtual consultation with your doctor from your living room is revolutionary. It reduces the strain of travel and exposure to germs, making healthcare more accessible than ever. Module 3. Building your care cavalry. You are not alone in this. The key is to build a multi-layered support network. Formal care, the professionals. Understanding the roles, companion, homemaker, provides help with tasks like meal prep, light housekeeping, errands, and crucially, companionship. Personal care aid, PCA, home health aid, HA. These aids can provide hands-on personal care like assistance with bathing, dressing, and mobility. HHAs often have more health-related training. Finding help, start with your local area agency on aging. They can connect you with reputable, vetted home care agencies in your area. Informal care, the family and friends have the conversation. It's vital to have an open, honest conversation with your children or close family about your wishes. Do this before a crisis hits. Frame it not as a burden, but as a plan for your future that you want them to be a part of. Create a shared plan. Use a shared digital calendar to coordinate visits, appointments, and tasks. Divide responsibilities based on skills and proximity. One child might handle finances online, while another who lives closer handles groceries and appointments. Community care, the village, Meals on Wheels, provides not just a nutritious meal, but a daily safety check. In senior centers offer social outlets, exercise classes, and community, combating the isolation that can be so damaging. Volunteer driver programs. Many communities have programs that provide transportation to medical appointments for seniors. Module 4. The financial fortification plan. How do you pay for all of this? The costs of aging in place are almost always significantly less than a nursing home, but they still require planning. Long-term care insurance. If you planned ahead and have a policy, now is the time to understand its benefits. Many policies have benefits specifically for home care. Reverse mortgage. For homeowners 62 and older, this can be a viable option. It allows you to convert part of the equity in your home into cash without having to sell the house. It's a complex financial product, so consult with a certified financial advisor. Government programs and grants, VA benefits. Veterans and their surviving spouses may be eligible for aid and attendance benefits, which can help pay for home care. State and local programs. Your area agency on aging is the best resource for discovering local grants or waiver programs that can help offset the costs of home modifications or care. Aging in place is not a passive process. It is an active, dynamic, and deeply rewarding strategy for living your final chapter on your own terms. Part 3. The Unbreakable Spirit. The power of lifelong agency. We have walked through the realities, the costs, and the practical blueprints, but the final, most crucial element is not something you can buy or install. It is the unwavering belief in your own right to choose. It is the power of your own agency. Aging should never mean relinquishing the fundamental right to wake up each morning and feel that your life is your own. Society may paint aging as a slow surrender, but we must reject that narrative. Aging is an opportunity to redefine what matters, to live with intention, and to master our lives in a new way. The transition into a nursing home often marks the unraveling of purpose. The small rhythms that give a day meaning, deciding what to eat, tending to a plant, feeding a pet, picking up a hobby are the threads in the fabric of your identity. They keep your mind sharp and your spirit vibrant. In your own home, even if you need help with heavier tasks, you remain the author of your story. You decide when to turn on the radio, what flowers to plant, whether to spend an afternoon lost in a book. These decisions, however modest, are declarations of self. They are a constant affirmation that you are still here, still you. This is the heart of it. Staying in your home isn't just about the comfort of familiar walls. It's about preserving the psychological and emotional core of who you are. The stakes of that choice grow higher with each passing year, not lower. So, when the world tries to convince you that your story is winding down, that it's time to step aside and let others take the reins, push back. This chapter is yours too, right? It can be as rich, as bold, and as meaningful as any that came before. Conclusion. Your future is still yours to shape. We stand now, back at that crossroads we imagined at the beginning, but you are no longer standing there in uncertainty. You are armed with knowledge. You understand the hidden realities of institutional care and the profound, life-affirming power of aging in place. You have a blueprint, you have a plan. The journey to reclaiming your future begins with a single step. and that step is not renovating your bathroom or hiring an aide. It is starting a conversation. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to talk to one person, this wicked child, a spouse, a trusted friend, about your wishes for the future. Use the tools we've discussed today as your guide. I want to hear from you. What is the one insight from this video that has changed your perspective? What is the first step you will take? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Your story, your commitment, could be the spark of courage someone else needs to see today. If you found this video valuable, please like, share it with those you love, and subscribe to our channel. Let's build a community dedicated to aging with dignity, power, and choice. The conversation doesn't end here. Let's keep it going.